Welcome to our first lesson in Introductory Statistics, in which we're going to cover some key terminology. In this lesson, we're going to talk about population, samples, and data. Now, the entire first chapter of this course is designed to help you understand the fundamental terminology of statistics that we're going to be using throughout the entire course. So it's very important, if there's a term in any of these lessons from chapter 1 that you don't understand, that you ask for help right away to clarify it, because it's going to carry and follow you throughout the course. So as we work through each example, I'm going to provide the answers with an explanation. And as you watch the videos, use a printout of these guided notes that I provided for you in the homework, and take notes on the guided notes, and then you can use them as a reference later. Okay, so let's first start by exploring the difference between the two branches of statistics. We have descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. So looking at our definition box, we have descriptive statistics are methods we use for organizing and summarizing data. Examples include making tables, charts, and finding averages. That's not all of the descriptive statistics, but those are examples. So anything that we use to organize and summarize data is considered descriptive statistics. Now, the second branch of statistics that we're going to cover in the second half of the course is called inferential statistics. And these are methods used when we sample data and we use them to make generalizations, predictions, estimations about a population. So inferential statistics is when we use the information that we collected and we have some kind of method that we use to make a decision or make an estimate, and we apply that generalization to the entire population. So let's look at example 1A. A nutritionist reviews average sugar consumption of 500 children in 5 elementary schools to decide on future school lunch offerings. Is this descriptive or inferential? Now remember, the big difference between these two is that one is used to summarize and describe data, while the other one is used to make decisions, predictions, and estimations. This would be considered inferential statistics because the nutritionist is using the data from the sample of 500 children from the 5 schools to make decisions about future lunch offerings that will affect all the students. So they're using the sample data to make generalizations about what would be appropriate for the entire population. So they're making generalizations and they're making decisions. So this would be considered inferential statistics. So that narrows it down to part B, or I should say choice B and choice D. Now let's look at the reason. Inferential, the reason is this uses the sample to make decisions about all students' lunch needs. And then part D is this is inferential because it reviews the data from the entire population. This sounds to me more like a summary of something, while choice B says it uses this to make decisions. So that would follow along with the inferential statistics. So we are going to choose choice B for our answer. All right, let's look at part B. Part B says a researcher creates a pie chart showing the percentage breakdown of transportation methods, meaning car, bus, bicycle, or walking, used by 200 employees at a local company. Is this descriptive or inferential statistics? This example is an example of descriptive statistics because the researcher is collecting data from 200 employees and just simply organizing and presenting the information in a pie chart. They're not attempting to draw conclusions about the employees or companies or predict future transportation patterns. They're just summarizing what they found in the specific sample. So looking at the choices for descriptive statistics, we have choice A and we have choice C. Choice A gives a much better explanation. It says this organizes and displays data without making predictions beyond the sample. And that's exactly what descriptive statistics does. So we are going to choose A. So this contradicts what we had in our previous example where the nutritionist was using data to make decisions about the future offerings for the lunch for the kids. In the transportation example, in part B, the researcher is only concerned with describing the current transportation habits of those specific 200 employees surveyed. So remember that descriptive statistics summarizes, organizes, and presents the data in a meaningful way, while the inferential statistics use sample data to make broader generalizations and predictions about that specific population.